This is a Yarnquisitions Knitting Podcast. You can also call me Vic or Lucille, whichever suits your taste. And I'm drinking Earl Grey milk tea. And for whatever reason, my phone just stops recording, so this is like my third time doing this. It like cuts off at like 6 minutes, so annoying. So if it does it again, I'm just gonna upload whatever I have. I'm just like so over it right now, like yeah. So if it cuts off, I'm just gonna upload that and then call it a day. So I'm wearing the Ingrid sweater and the what's it called? The modifications that I did for the sweater is, for one sleeve, I did the recommended amount, which is my second sleeve, and then the first sleeve, I did the recommended picked up stitches +1, and so I decreased at the beginning of the round, and then I did the pattern after that. And then for this both sleeves, I did 4 more extra double rib rounds, and because I want it to be longer, because it would hit me like right here, but I want it to be like right here. So that's why I did that. And for all the edges, or for all the bind offs, I didn't do double rib on any of them, or not double rib, I didn't do double knit on any of them. So instead of doing 2 rounds of double knit, I did 1 round of the 1x1 rib, and then I bound off in Italian bind off to get that clean look. And then I think that's all the modifications for the sweater. And I made the sweater so that I can replace an acrylic, 90% acrylic, 10% wool blend sweater that I bought from like H&M or something years and years ago, like 2017. I think that's when I bought it, so like 5 years ago. Yeah. So now I have merino mohair silk blend sweater now. So yeah. And I bought 10 of these balls, and I have 1 skein left over, 1 full skein, and then 1/4 skein left over. So I used like 9-ish, a little less than 9 balls of this double soft merino. And then I also had 1 untouched skein of soft silk mohair by Knitting for Olive, and this is double soft merino, and I have this much left from the 5th ball. So yeah, 9 balls of double soft merino or whatever, and 5 balls of soft silk mohair. And yeah, it's pretty good, right? So yeah, I can use the soft silk mohair for the sweater I'll be mentioning later if the video doesn't cut me off, because I'm not editing these videos. So yeah, this is my leftovers, and I don't know what to do with these. If someone has any idea, please let me know of what I could do with that. I mean, I guess I could just put it into a pillowcase, but that won't be for a long time. And for the old things, it's mostly lace crochet. Yeah. And this is the pineapple lace crochet pattern. I mean, it's literally lace that you can sew onto like a hem of something like this, like that, or like on an edge of something, because I think that's what this part is for, like the bars that are like right there, those bars. I think you're supposed to like sew it to something, and of course I haven't blocked it, so it kind of like ruffles a little bit. So yeah, but this is the pineapple lace crochet pattern, and for some of the lace crochet patterns, I mean, you can find these online. All of these you can find online, because that's where I got them from. You can just Google lace crochet pattern, and then I like make them into bracelets, and the join is like pretty shit, but it's a bracelet. I didn't really like this one as much, but there's a variation that I like way more, and this is the variation that I like way more. And this is just my little test to make sure that it's something I like, and yeah, and also testing the crochet hook as well. And as you can see, this thread is so tiny, so I probably use 0.75 for this one, and I probably use 0.9 for this one, but also could have been 0.75. I can't remember like at all. And then this is also a test that I did, and I actually quite like this one, but it has a tendency to fold, so like that's the only part I don't like about this pattern. Yeah, but I don't know if I like was tired of knitting this or something, or crocheting this, because it's it's very taxing on your fingers. But yeah, I think I just crocheted this just to see like what it would look like, because I think I knit this from a crochet chart. I think that's why I couldn't like tell what it's supposed to look like or how it's supposed to crochet. But yeah, you kind of crochet like this. So you start here and then you just keep going. Yeah. Ooh. Fly just hit the window from outside. And then this is also another test to see if I like this or not. But I don't know if this is supposed to be like a dragonfly or a flower or what. I'm not sure what's supposed to depict, but this is like the only like very blocky lace crochet pattern that I did. Where's it even start? I think you just work it like this or something. This is from the bottom to the top. I think that's how you're supposed to work it. But it keeps twisting because I haven't blocked it at all. Yeah. And then there's also this one, which is supposed to be like a triangle kind type deal. You can see it better over here. Yeah. I mean, it's nice, but I mean, it keeps curling because it's not blocked at all. So yeah. And I finished the bracelet. So I must have liked it if I finished the bracelet. And then this one, I think this one just got discolored because I just left it somewhere. and it got like dew or like water on it. And yeah, I think that's why it's kind of like not completely white. But yeah, this is the finished bracelet of this little swatch. So yeah. Oh, I dropped it. And then yeah, I wasn't really thinking about the sewn part or the crochet together part to make it a bracelet, so yeah. And then I also made this one out of like a thicker crochet thread. I think this is the thread that I got in Korea, which is like size 40. So I either used I think I used the 0.9 millimeter crochet hook for this one, and crochet hooks are often made with nickel, so you have to watch out if you are allergic to nickel. You have to be careful about the crochet hooks you buy, because most of the time, like 90% of crochet hooks are lace crochet hooks are made with nickel. So you gotta look at the ones that are like specifically nickel free, or like, yeah, you just gotta watch out for that. And I think this one is like in the off-white ecru color. But for the black one, I know that I used a DMC crochet thread. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, the DMC crochet thread. I think maybe the 80 means size 80. So twice as thin as size 40. So, and this comes in like a 5-gram ball. I think maybe I got it on Amazon or something. I don't remember. And I think this is the white version. On the back it just says Noir, so it's obviously black, which is, this. And then I got whatever this is, which is, I assume is the white. So yeah. Let's see, what else? And then I also made this to swatch to see if I used the correct needle size, or hook size, but I didn't. But I made the correct one in this one, which is a little itty bitty ring. And I made it to fit my finger, but I think I made it so that I can practice making the rings. And I made like several other rings, but I have no idea where they went. Maybe I threw it away, I don't remember. But for a while I used it on my finger so that my finger doesn't get injured from lace crocheting as much. Like that. I mean, it kind of looks like a band-aid, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I tried working with it like this, and it did help for a while, but then it would like keep slipping off like that, because it's made for right here, not at the tip of my finger. So yeah, or I think maybe I put on this one, because that's the finger I like hold the project on. Or maybe I used it for here, because the crochet thread is so tiny, it like cuts into your skin a little bit, but like, it doesn't draw blood. It just makes like a huge red mark right here. So yeah, lace crochet at your own risk, I guess. And then I made this little swatch just to practice. But it didn't turn out as square as was supposed to, so maybe I'm supposed to block it and stretch it a little bit. But yeah, it's more of a rectangle than a square. And if you can't see it, because it's not like the background isn't dark enough or something, maybe right here, I don't know. This is really hard to see, but it's supposed to look like this. This is what it's supposed to look like. And then they made it into like a pincushion thing, but yeah. Like, how large is that pincushion? Like, mine is pretty large, so, right? Yeah, it's pretty large. So that pincushion doesn't even look that small to me. Yeah, well, whatever. Maybe they use it, but I use a pretty tiny thread, so I don't understand. But yeah, that's that. And then I also made this thing, which may seem familiar to you because I also made coasters with this design, which, if you don't remember, is this design in this how to crochet book. That's translated from Japanese to Korean, and I bought this when I was in Korea because at the time I was determined to learn how to crochet in Korean, but I mostly just bought it so that I can refresh my memory on the crochet charts, because I always forget what single crochet looks like, or like double crochet or treble crochet, and like, yeah, I always forget the symbols, so that's why I got this, to remind me of the symbols, and a little bit of like practice as well. Okay, toss it on the floor. And then I have this little thing, which, I mean, it's incomplete because I totally ran out of yarn. And then Daiso, I bought these 2 yarns at Daiso, and after running out of yarn, Daiso never restocked this kind of lace crochet yarn. And I'm like so bummed because it was kind of a good, reliable crochet thread, and it's size 10. So kind of a bummer. And yeah, I don't know why they didn't stock those when they still stocked the crochet hooks, the very, very tiny ones. They still stocked those, but they didn't stock the yarn. Like, how? Why, Daiso? Why? But yeah, the Daisos down here don't even carry that stuff, so even more of a bummer. Yeah. Okay. A little update. I put some more buttons on this. Let me fix this a little bit. I added more buttons so that it looks more complete and doesn't look like I have like a weird hole in the middle. And I added did I add a button at the bottom? No. I only added 2 buttons because I feel like adding one right here would like cinch it in too much. Like, it would stress the collar a little too much. So I decided against the button right here. And then I also didn't add the button at the bottom because, I don't know, I thought it would just sit weird. a little. I think it would just sit weird. So I didn't. So I only add 2 buttons out of the 4 buttons I bought. Which, I guess I'll show you later in the acquisitions part. And I started the second sleeve finally after like 2 weeks of the sweater number 9. Nothing much to show. This is where I started, and this is how much I got done, which is like 6 centimeters or something. So still working on that a little bit. And my second whip, I'm using Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, in the color rhubarb juice, which is the barrette silk, 100% barrette silk. Oh, and I didn't know that the little butterfly here means that, well, according to KFO, it means that the moths can come out of its chrysalis and live for like 5 days before it dies, because that's the lifespan of a moth, I think, or like 5 days to a week or something like that, or at least this moth variety is like that. So it's 250 meters per 50 gram skein. Yeah. And I'm still working on the first ball. Oops. I'm still working on the first ball, and already got to the body, or still on the body, I guess. But the pattern doesn't tell you what kind of, what's it called? They don't tell you what kind of cast on to use. So you could either do backwards loop, the knitted cast on, or the, what's it called? The chain cast on. It's like a knitted, well, I did it for the pavlova, so it's that one. I can't remember the name right now, but it's a more stiff cast on, but you knit in between the stitches and not through the last stitch. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. But it's kind of hard to show because it matches this color, almost the exact same color for some reason. But this is like where your arm is supposed to go, so it's more like this, I guess. But yeah, it's super hard to show because only knitted like 1 inch of the body. So yeah, and I'll show you how much I have right now. I think I've gone through like maybe half, maybe a little less than half. So, and I have 2 more skeins because that's what they said that I needed, but who knows. I'm thinking that I'll probably break into second skein but not even finish the second skein. I mean, that's what it looks like right now. Let's see. So that's my second whip right now, one finished object. And this is my third whip that I started yesterday. Believe it or not, Ripley's believe it or not. This actually does fit over my head, but because it's so scrunched right now, you probably can't tell that it does fit over my head. Ooh. Dropped my skein, and this I knit a single strand of mohair in the colorway Cherry Blossom by KFO, which is one of their newer colorways. Yeah, and it looks great so far. And this is just the color. Let's see. How could I show you? But yeah. I think I'm at the point where I need to do the German short rows for the collar. So that's the point I'm at. And the pattern is from the mykt sandnes garn book, which is soft for a woman. And it's the Jules sweater, or Jules genser. But yeah, which is knit in single strand mohair. This is the stats for it, but yeah, single strand mohair, 3 mm, 3mm needles. The gauge is 24 stitches by 10 rows. Like, how's it 10 rows? Like, I have no idea. And it ranges from X small to 2XL, but is it really many? No, they group some sizes together, so there's a total of 4 sizes. So they group the X small together and the L and XL together. So there's only 4 sizes for this sweater, which, I mean, this book is $9, so I mean, you get what you pay for, you know? Because a complete, like, in-depth pattern usually costs around like $5 to $10. That like holds your hand. Those kind of patterns are like that much. So a full book of like 14 patterns. I think it's 14. But some of them are like doubled up. So yeah. So it's not a bad price if you really think about it. Yeah. So that's my third whip. And then I'm also completed a swatch of linen. One side is 2.5 millimeter, the other side is 3 millimeter, but they're pretty similar. I have the similar, I think the same gauge swatch. So, but this is a single thread of linen, and I think this is like lace, basically. A lace weight linen, even though it's marketed as like a 4-ply or fingering or something. So I haven't did the 2-stranded linen yet, so I'm gonna gauge swatch the 2-strand. And this is just what I caked up to try it. So that's waiting for me. And I still have so much left on the cone. And then I'm also gauge swatching the 98% extra fine merino blend and 2% vicuña, which is very negligible. And I really like the fabric that it makes. It's very like stretchy because it's a wool, and I mean, it's surprisingly stretchy, honestly, to me. But it stretches more widthwise than vertical, so I think that would be really nice for what I'm planning for it. So yeah, and it's like perfect for a 3mm needle. This is just a 9mm needle that I bought for socks, but probably won't use it for socks. Maybe just use it for gauge swatching. But yeah, it's, oh, that's the wrong side. This is the right side. But it's black, you probably can't see it. But yeah, I really, really like the fabric. It's very nice and soft because the micron count is so low. It's 16, surprisingly low. And I didn't think merino can get to 16 micron count. That's like baby soft micron count. Anything less than 20 is like super soft, like baby alpaca soft. Yeah, so ridiculously soft. Oh, and an update on the Jenny sweater. I did de-pill it. So it looks nice on the sleeves now, or nicer than before. I find it hard to de-pill something like this because it's held with the mohair, so it's like super fuzzy. But the more fuzz it is, the more likely it is to pill, so yeah. And I want to maintain that fuzz factor, so it's hard to pick the stuff that's pilling. And yeah, and my voice is going. So don't forget to drink tea or water. And then this is how much I got off of that, which is not much, but it feels kind of rough, so, which is interesting because it's so soft when I wear it. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, and so I finished the whips, what I worked on, and okay, I think it's time for the Yarnquisitions section, which is the name of the podcast, so, you know. So I got these books, the Sandnes garn books. I think this was like $8, this was $9. And it's kind of interesting because Sandnes garn, they print the English with the German, or with German. So then it makes it like a little thicker than usual. Like this is, the German section starts right here for this book. Like, that's kind of a lot that could have been left out if it was just English, but I think it's because they just wanted less editions of these books, which, you know, I can understand that. But for this one, I think there's even less pages. I think it's, yeah, it's like that much. Yeah, so like half the book is just like nice prints of the sweaters, like this. Like this one, I really, really, really want to make. But yeah, I already flagged the ones I want to make. I think I want to make like 3 or 4 in this one, but only mark the 3 I want. And it's the L Sweater Sunday edition, the Lourdes sweater, Lourdes genser, and the Kelly sweater, the Kelly genser. I guess the L sweater is the Elegance, maybe that's what it's called. But yeah, this is the DIY one, which it was sold out in one shop in the US that I saw. But yeah, no one in the US sells this for some reason. Like, you can't get the hard copy. And I don't know why. But yeah. And every time I see this one, like, I really want to make it, but I know that I won't wear it. So I'm like conflicted. Like, I can't make this because I won't wear it. Yeah. I think this is the back of the Elegance. But let me show you. Oh, this is a nice photo of the Lourdes genser. And then, let's see. And I think this was made or published in autumn 2021. Yeah. Let's see, where's the number? Okay. Maybe September, because it's 2109. And I think the second set of numbers, the 09, is September. Let's see. Which one is the ones that I want to make? Just a moment. Here it is. The Elegance. But I don't know if you're supposed to pronounce the E at the end. So it's L, like the name L. But yeah, I just like the collar on this one, so that's why I really like this. But it's like a boxy fit, oversized one, so I'm still on the fence of making that one because it's so oversized. And then another shot of the Lourdes genser. And then, let's see, the Kelly sweater. Which one's the best one? I think this one's a good one. This one. I want to make this one, the Kelly genser, because I keep seeing it on Insta, so, or IG. But yeah, I don't like the split hem, but the non-split hem version, the regular version looks good. And then also, like this little bucket bag thing, so cute. But yeah, I mean, I could just make that without this, but whatever. I was just wondering like how they made it, and they used 2 strands of Mandarin Petite, which is 100% cotton. But yeah. Oh, I guess in the back, they have like an overview of all the patterns in this book. But yeah. But yeah, I got the DIY one and the soft for women, and the ones that I want to make, I think I showed you one already. Let's see if I can find the photo for it. Okay, I want to make the Frankie sweater, and I know that Inga made one already for her Easter sweater, but yeah, I just have yarn that can make this, so I'm just gonna make it. And I mean, Inga really made me, because before Inga mentioned it, I was like, I'm really like, should I get it? Because I keep getting ads on Instagram for it. So yeah. And the Jolie sweater, this is the scrap project I want to make with this, because the base is like 8 8 balls of mohair, like the white, and then the single strands is just 2 each color. So yeah. And this is and the Jolie sweater or genser is 2 strands of mohair for throughout. So that's probably why it's like 2 balls of the 2 other colors, but yeah. Already have 1 color for it now. So poppy rose. Let's see what else. And then the, what is it, the Jules sweater or Jules sweater, genser. Yeah, I just really like this one, and I think this one is the one that made me get this book, because I don't know, I just like really like it. And I bought these books from Knit with 2 T's. So I think they're knit_yarns on Instagram, and yeah, they're like the only place that I can find these in English for some reason. Especially this one. It's so freaking hard to find this book anywhere online. That's like not sold out, or just not that far. I mean, I guess UK is pretty far, but yeah, like almost no one stocks the English version, so that kind of sucks. But and then the shipping is $21, so it's like more than the cost of these books. But I mean, they got here in pristine condition, thankfully, because the packaging in it got ripped up in shipping, but minimal damage. It's almost like, well, I guess here it got damaged, but that's very negligible. I don't really care. I mean, it's paper and it's really heavy. So yeah, I'm just glad that I have these now. So I can make these, and I have yarn for them. Well, I have yarn for this one. I don't know about the other one yet. And also bought from La Mercerie these buttons that I used. Yeah, they're like really nice, and they have like a bunch of other shades in these buttons, and these are 15mm buttons, which is perfect for my project. And yeah, I just got more of them, and I got the Antigone by the rerum natura, which is a French brand, and La Mercerie stocks them, and they finally got their linen shipment, and I got the colorway macaron, which is a very light pink. It's lighter than rhubarb juice. It's lighter than rhubarb juice. So yeah, so it's a nice one, and I'm planning on, I think I said it last time too, I'm planning on making a crop top with this. But yeah, that's not gonna be for a while, because I got accepted into a test knit finally after applying for so many. And she's in the same Discord I'm in, which is the but I don't know if she knows that. Maybe not. But if she looks at the pictures on my Instagram and then look at the pictures on Discord, you could put 2 and 2 together. But I don't know if she knows that. Also, like, I didn't even tell anybody that I'm making YouTube videos, so there's that. But I have a yarn for it, which is the linen yarn that I showed in like the first 2 episodes or something. Yeah. I'm gonna use a linen cotton blend, which is called knitpicks lindy chain. Because I bought it for the second version of the olive top, but instead of using it for the olive top, I'm just gonna use it for this test knit, because it's way more interesting than to have 2 of the same pattern in different colors. So yeah, and it's a DK weight pattern. That's all I'm gonna say about it because I haven't worked on it. I did swatch once with the recommended needle size, but I got like 25 stitches instead of 22 stitches. So I'll probably have to up the needle size because it's too tight. And then I'm making the smallest size, so yeah, hopefully that will be okay. I think that's it. And yeah, now I have too many whips. I'm like, oh, which one should I make today? And I'm like, I want to knit on the olive top, but at the same time I want to knit on this one, on the jules genser, which is this one. And oh yeah, I finally learned how to after knitting for so long, I finally learned how to knit what's it called, Portuguese style through the back loops, because whenever I had to do through the back loop, I just used the English style knitting, so it's like, so I just wrap it. So like I put it through the back loop and then wrap it, and then yeah, proceed as normal instead of doing the Portuguese way, and then knitting the Portuguese way and doing twisted rib and purling is like a dream because there's no stopping. It's like the flow is like perfect. So if you want to have an easier time doing twisted rib and a twisted knit and a purl stitch, then I suggest doing the Portuguese style, because the Portuguese style makes purling super easy, and yeah, the twisted stitch is just so easy. Because there's like one less movement you have to do. So instead of like it's so hard to explain, but I guess let me try to explain it. So you move, for a purl, you move the yarn to the front, and then you purl, and then you move your working yarn to the back for the knit stitch, and then you put the yarn in its place in front, or like you wrap your yarn around the needle after you insert your needle into the knit stitch through the back loop, and then you like keep it in front, or you just like leave it like this, I guess. Keep the working yarn behind your right needle, and then you can just slide it off, and it's already in the position for the purl stitch. So you don't have to like flip it back into the front, and you just continue with your purl, and then you only move the yarn to the back once. Or yeah, you just use it. I don't know, it's so like intuitive. But yeah, you like reduce one, like you never have to move it from the back to the front for the purl, because it automatically does that for you after you knit through the back loop for Portuguese style. So that's like really fun to do, and you can just keep going. But as I said earlier, I have to do the German short row. Is it still? Yes, it's still recording. Okay. Yeah. So that's fun. And then doing this is just fun as well because it's a thicker yarn, so I don't have to worry about snapping it like I do with the mohair. And then, I mean, what row am I on? I'm on the no increase rows, or no increase row, I guess. But now that I've worked on a few projects, or I think it's because the pressure I put on these needles doing the Portuguese style knitting, that the tips are like really, really rough now, if you can hear it. Yeah, it's like super rough because I keep applying way too much pressure on them. And sometimes it hurts my hands, but I only realize it hurts like when I go to sleep. So I guess it doesn't really hurt that much, or like when I wake up. So yeah. And like, because I've have these two funner projects now, I never want to work on sweater number 9. So every time I have a new whip, I'm like, oh, I want to work on that because it's way more interesting than a stockinette thing. And now I have a test knit, so yeah, even more reason not to work on sweater number 9. But yeah, I think the test knit is due in June, so there's like 2 months basically, or at the end of June, and we're only at the start of March. So yeah, and it's a camisole type of garment, or like a cami. Yeah, and it's very stylish, but I'm worried that it would be like really thick, like the fabric. But I mean, it's supposed to be thick so that it's structured. But yeah, gotta drink some more tea. Tea break. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to say that I think I used a sewing thread for this. That's why it's like a little not as black, and it's like doesn't hold the shape as much, just because I use a sewing thread, which I don't recommend for lace crochet, because it just doesn't hold its shape that well. But yeah, for lace crochet, I always recommend mercerized cotton because it's strong and will hold its shape. Or like a wool, you know, because wool holds shape very well. Alpaca, not so much. Acrylic, not as much for some reason. But I did make doilies out of acrylic, but I don't know, it just doesn't turn out the way I want it to. I guess I should end this now, so I'll see you guys next week. See ya.